Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are jumping right into things. We are actually getting back into our OBS Duramax swap. For those that don't know, this is a 1994 GMC K3500. This is a 2007 LBZ Duramax, and this is a 2001 Silverado chassis, extended cab long bed. Real quick, for the people that are wondering why I'm spending the time to do this to an extended cab long bed, well, don't worry, sweetheart. That's for me to worry about, not you. But, I gotta do something first. It's bugging the hell out of me, then we'll get into this video. Now that's a whole lot more gooder. Anybody that knows this truck, that knows this OG right here, visor cab lights, man. That's the only freaking way to do it, man. It just, you can't, I can't beat it. It's, well, that's a terrible view, but you'll never see what I see, and that's perfectly okay with me. So anyway, let's jump into this. Let's jump into the fitment, how we got this on here, blah blah blah. So let's start here in the back. Now the bed is sitting on the chassis flush like it should. So all is good there. Again, before everybody freaks out on me, this is all mock-up. I know the chassis still looks like shit, and I know the underside of the body looks like shit. It's all mock-up, okay? So we do have a pretty decent gap between the bed and the cab. I'll put a picture up here of this big guy back in his other form. The OBS does have a pretty healthy gap in the back. Let's see. Right there, you can see that. We got about 1.5 inch block in the rear there. Yes, it's a 4x4 chunk of wood. And up here, we have it set at about 6 inches. It's really hard to see, but we do, in fact, we're pretty damn close on having the cab match the same rake or the same angle as the chassis. So we wanted to keep the bottom of the frame and the bottom of the cab as close to parallel as possible. And we, you know, I feel like we accomplished that quite well. I could probably drop this thing down just a little bit lower, clean it up just a little bit. However, the extra room that I have here in the trans tunnel and behind the engine to work, I need that room. And that's because the final form of this thing, you know, we're not going to be stock. We're going to be having some aftermarket piping coming here. We're gonna have us a little turbo action here, a little pipe action, a little turbo action here, maybe a little turbo action down here too. One never knows, you know? And then hopefully we have enough room for our cooling stack, which it looks like we should. You know, because again, we're gonna have a little extra rotating assembly piece thingy here. We gotta, you know, widen these up with some different manifolds. You guys remember we did our up pipes in a previous video, which again, those are purely for mock-up, but they are aftermarket profab up pipes. So let's hop on the old creeper, jump underneath, and see just what kind of room we're working with the drivetrain. And before we get going too far, if we come up between the frame rail and the cab here, I hate body lifts, but if you look, we actually have a pretty clean, a good decent amount of room here underneath. So when we go to put our merchant trans brace on there, we're gonna have plenty of room. Let's see, we got plenty of room for downpipe and 5-inch piping to come all the way back. So that's always a bonus. We're not running 4-inch. So again, like I said, we have plenty of room here on top of the transfer case. You know, we can work on things. What's really nice too is that when you go to drop these transfer cases in these Duramaxes, the cross member here, that little guy right there, you got to pop that out. So actually this will work out nicely that we'll be able to jack up the transfer case, slide it backwards and remove it that way. Another nice thing is that our ABS module right here, we've got plenty of room to get to that, because if you've ever done brakes or had to redo them on the classic Duramax, they're kind of a pain in the ass to get to. So, and the number one question that I do get with this swap is how close are the body mounts to the chassis. They're not 100% spot on. As you can see, the center mount here is off, but the rear mount, you know, it lines up. We gotta repair this one. Got a little rust action going on there. There you go. Now you guys can see it. But you know, nothing too crazy. The bed, however, believe it or not, would you just look at it? Would you just freaking look at it? The bed lines up. So no complaints. And being that we're on the subject of how things fit, you know, from the NBS to the OBS, this is one kind of neat little thing right here. I have already done this back when I had my red OBS dually. I did this mod. I'll link that video down below. But the NBS style Hydro Boost right there on the floor is actually a direct bolt-in to the OBS truck, just like the NBS steering wheel, the steering column, which we have one right there. That is also a direct bolt-in. And to show you guys that I'm not full of shit, I'm gonna go ahead and put you up on the old tripod, and I'm gonna install everything. See, just like that, completely interchangeable. Steering column is in. Now, this isn't the steering column that we're going to be using. We're actually going to be picking up one that has a key, along with the intermediate shaft to line up to our steering box here. This still actually has the OBS attachment to it, which, fun fact, this right here, it's hard to tell underneath all that grease and grime and shit, but that is actually the steering box out of the OBS. It is the exact same mounting lineup as the NBS Duramax, and you can tell this is an NBS Duramax because there's your bullshit tie rods right there. That, and there's an LBZ sitting in it with absolutely no modifications done. Really, with this swap, there's actually quite a bit that is still interchangeable on these trucks, and there's a lot of stuff that you can carry over. When I did my first swap on the OBS chassis, and then decided we were going to go this route, I was a little bit bummed out when I started thinking about some of the parts that I'd already had into this truck that I was worried about not being able to switch over. The biggest being the 456 gear set that I had, because, you know, whatever rear end was underneath the OBS versus the AAM, I can't line them up. So it is what it is, but other than that, pretty much the majority of the stuff, it lines up pretty damn close. A little bit of fabrication work here and there, not really a whole lot, not as much as you would expect to go into it. And I'm really looking forward to it. I know this video was kind of rambling, I'm sorry for that, but there's a lot of valuable information in here. Just like I missed one more thing. Our accelerator pedal from the Duramax will line right up with where the accelerator pedal from the 6.5 used to be. That is freaking awesome. Some people can actually get away with using the 6.5 pedal, but we're going to be using the Duramax pedal. But we will have the 6.5 as a backup. I believe some of them are interchangeable, others aren't. We're going to find out, but this thing is very, very quickly taking shape. We did put the lower valance on the bottom of the grill to give it some support. And we measured out, we're actually 2.5 inch right there to get this about where that it needs to be. So we just got to modify the oil fill cap and the dipstick because this is from the van. But really, other than that, once we start getting closer with fenders and all that, I'm hoping to have doors and the window's done by the weekend, but we shall see. Again, I apologize for all the rambling, but a swap like this, I get a gajillion questions already, which does not bother me. Doesn't bother me in the slightest, you know. I absolutely love it when people engage. Just don't be that douchebag. Ooh, why are you doing it that way? Because it's mine and I want to, and it's my money. If I screw it up and I have to pay for it 9 times, that's a me problem, brother. That ain't a you problem. But anyway, guys, seriously, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You guys can always message me. Hit up the Instagram down below. I try to promote on the Facebook page as much too. I'm horrible at it, but I try. So anyway, take care. God bless, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Be good to one another. Peace.